Hi, this is Danny Jewell, Knowledge for Life Mission, NICA Mission, the Malawi People's Project. I'm wanting to speak today about the loss of knowledge across history and how that can be rationalized and where we are now. As I was growing up and studying, working on becoming more aware of where we are and how I might work with the education system to make changes or help people change in that direction. What I realized and what I finally understood was that we look back at the beginning. Let's say we look at the first person, first people, group, crowd, hunting, living, trying to survive. Whatever they learned was an individual's learning. Now they learn as a group, they share some knowledge, but you've got groups of people around the world, small groups, not a world full of people like we have now. And the knowledge that they have doesn't get shared between those groups. They're a little stingy, they're generous or whatever, and it doesn't get shared to the degree that everybody understands and it's going to be a common knowledge. Something happens, a person dies, that knowledge is lost, someone else has to learn it. Maybe a whole village, a whole group of people lose that knowledge because someone or those people are no longer around, and so that knowledge is lost. Well, how long does it take for it to come back? We're genius, walking on two legs, making things up, realizing things, learning or not. So they learn, another group learns to make fire, and that's lost. Another group learns to make fire, it's lost. If more and more people pass this on, and eventually it's recorded or it's passed on as a common thing among people. Today we're doing the same thing. How many people know how to start a fire? I mean, how many different ways can you start a fire? So we could say today knowledge has been lost to you and your family if you don't know that. And so here's another family over here that knows how to take and make fire and survive in the wilderness. So there's the disconnect between the history and today. People who learn anything want to pass that on. It doesn't always happen. To give you an example that you know is true, you have a business, you have a furniture business, you're a good carpenter. Well, your child, your son, your daughter, your kids, they grow up, they don't move into the business. They go do other things. And so now what we're hoping is a mom and pop business, father and son, family business, whatever, now is without workers, without someone to carry it on. This happens all over the country. I blame it on the education system. I blame it on the way that we raise ourselves, raise our kids, the way we teach. We're going to keep losing that knowledge. The greatest thing that's ever happened to us was writing. We were able to record that information way back, drawings, artwork, all of that, saving who we are until we could use it, until it was something that we could pass on. So imagine how much has been lost. I would say 90% of what the genius that's come about in this world or more has been lost, and we'll not get it back. When I'm gone, there'll be no getting it back either. So we've tried to pass things on through writings. Now we have the internet. Now we have a great deal of knowledge out there on the internet. It's readily available for people to learn. It is a shallow knowledge. It is a reading a book, watching a video knowledge. Why would I say that that's shallow? You go to get your associate's degree, get your bachelor's degree, get your master's degree, and you don't put your hands on and actually do the work, and you get the experience to go with it, to gain the wisdom, to gain the understanding that you need about things so that you can feel it in your mind what those things are, so you can take it into yourself and become what you're learning in your mind and see it. then you have no depth. You're shallow with your knowledge. You can say, I know all day, and you don't. You just know so much. And myself, I think about things over and over and over and over many different ways so that I can understand more about something, see a different light, different shadow, different something, a nuance of it. This is what I do all the time. It keeps my mind busy, keeps me learning. Now, in our schools, so we teach general education, reading, writing, arithmetic. We want our kids to succeed in this world. So the first thing we think is, okay, we're going to take and teach them reading, writing, arithmetic, and some other things. The school systems today are geared to bore the heck out of you. I had a really hard time in school. I had other issues and other problems that we all have while we're growing up, and then I had the school system right on, piled on my back at the same time. I was going through their system, studying and going so slow that I could take and finish the material in a few days, and then be waiting and not be happy with school, not even want to take the test and play the game. And it was a young age. There are a lot of kids out here in the same boat. They catch on. They know what's going on, but they don't know what's going on all at the same time. They know it's not right, but they don't know what's right. And they stick with it. They have to. It's required. Like I said, indoctrination. They're pulling you through a system by law that take and throw you in a group and cause the interactions in a group between different cultures, different beliefs, slamming them together, and really messing up a lot of kids' lives, and not teaching effectively much of anything. Kids coming out of school, my assessment is they're kids, 18-year-old, acting like and emotionally about 12 or 13, most of them. I've seen some of them, they who have come forward and they've enlightened themselves and gone past what's at school and reached for something else, have good role models, good leadership, and helping them, which is a big deal in our society and our culture as humans. But we just don't have it. The quality of school is evident compared to the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is following our lead, so they're not doing much better. I've seen some schools where the kids are running the school, and they're doing great, a lot better than what we're doing in most of our schools here. They have nearly 100% graduation rate, and 100% of them going on to college, furthering their education. Now, that's fantastic, but we're still talking about a very slow process of teaching, a very slow process of education. A kid going to college, spending 12 years in school, and just think about the number of hours they put in and the number of hours that we put in to support them and drive them to school, get them to the bus, everything else. And the school system doesn't seem to want to take and share the load about the learning and the full education of our kids. So emotionally, they're growing up stunted. They're growing up needing a lot. Life lessons, personal interactions to learn how to take and deal with situations, learn the truth about conflict and adversarial way of living. There are interpretations of words today that mean nothing like they used to. Words are being made too simple, like the word love, friend, and many other things. The words are mean nothing like they used to. So what's of value today? What really rocks somebody's soul when they say something is about love or something else? Today it's cussing, raising hell, just like it was in my day. It's a repeat. And so we've created a cycle of going round and round and round the tree, just new kids and growing up. So how would we take and change the way that our kids are learning and the speed at which they are learning it? Well, my assessment is that you have to have the kids involved. They have to be included. You cannot exclude someone from work that's doing the work. The school is a place where they live for a number of hours a day with the people that at school to learn, to educate those kids. So they have to be included. That means they must learn to teach each other. They teach classes. They must hold each other accountable. They must have their own rules. And they must be part of the making of the rules, part of the enforcing of the rules, part of everything in the process of a school. They need to learn to live in this world, and they can't learn to live in this world if we keep excluding them in one side of the room while we do everything else on the other for them and spoil them rotten and turn them into someone else that they're not. Bigotry, prejudice, hate, frustration, all of this gets built up out of boredom. We need to make something happen. And as individuals, we find causes. My granddaughter is all full of energy, all full of wanting to make ideas in her head that she can try and understand this world. And I'm hearing chaos. She's making sense, then she's not making sense, and she doesn't understand. The dangers of an intelligent mind is it is intelligent. It will find a way. You take a plant, any organic material on this planet or anywhere, it's going to struggle for life. The little seed is going to come out of that crack of that sidewalk where it can't possibly survive, but it's going to grow anyway up to a point until you step on it, until it's killed or something, until the weed eater gets it. Life is that way, so are humans. So humans are going to struggle, they're going to fight, they're going to try and survive. This indoctrination beats us down in school. The holding us down in ways that we don't need. I'm hoping that I can do something about it here in the future, and I just haven't been able to reach any minds here, and I'm not one to go out searching and beating a drum to make that happen. And at times I've been the activist. When I was younger, a couple of times I went down, stood on my soapbox in the middle of town, spouted my words and tried to say something about what was happening. I get people to listen and agree, but still nothing much. And so I'm just one person, and I'm hoping that we can get past that.